Hiya, Wet Wipe here. Just want to do a quick video on collarbones, specifically broken ones. If you've just broken your collarbone, which is likely to be why you're now looking at this, my commiserations, because you're probably in quite a bit of pain right now. I did mine 8 weeks ago. It is very painful, very easy to do. If you're a cyclist, motorcyclist, it's the sort of thing that's going to happen to you probably once, let's hope not more than that. I wanted to do the video because I found that although I was treated very well in hospital, there were certain parts of the healing process that weren't explained particularly well, left me guessing a bit, and had me quite down at some points. I thought I was going to heal fairly quickly, and judging on what the doctor told me originally, was sort of thinking it was going to take weeks and I'd be back in the saddle riding my bike again. It wasn't quite to be like that, and I just thought it would be helpful to anyone who's concerned about certain things going on with their collarbone in the healing process that would put their mind at rest, really. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, you break your collarbone, you fall off your bike, you fall over. It can happen anyway. 7 pounds of pressure, apparently 7 or 8 pounds, is enough to snap your collarbone. So you go down on it, it's going to go. 9 times out of 10, unless you're really hard, you're going to get an ambulance. They're going to take you to hospital, give you all the lovely drugs on the way. You wait in the waiting room for a bit. You get seen by the doctor. Now, the first thing he will do, it's normally an A&E doctor. First thing he will do is he'll look at it. He'll tell you just by looking at it that it's broken, if you don't already know, because if it's sticking out your skin at stupid angles, then you can have a good idea yourself. He'll have a feel around, tell you it's broken, send you for an X-ray. That will confirm that. Then what he'll do is explain to you in a roundabout kind of way what you should do, what you should expect, and this is where there's a little bit of ambiguity. You will probably be told that you go home, keep it in a sling for a couple of weeks. It'll be very uncomfortable sleeping, which it is, and you'll know that. After that period, start exercising it a little bit, which is fair, you know, that is good. The last thing you want is a frozen shoulder on top of your broken collarbone, because that can be doubly painful. So what you do is you get home, you'll have it in a sling. You won't be able to do anything for a few days, trust me on this. And then after a little while, swelling will go down, maybe other injuries will start to subside, and you'll just be left with this really stiff, aching collarbone. You can't move particularly well. So keep it in a sling. Keep it in a sling for 2 weeks, no problem at all. Then you can start maybe feeling your way as to how you want to start moving it. If you can get it out of the sling, if you can move it around in everyday kind of use, then do so. I'm not a doctor by any means, so you should be doing this at your own sort of pace, really. If you're feeling that you can do something, then by all means do it. Very much a feel thing. You'll know when you're getting better, but that first couple of weeks it really does feel like you're not getting better at all. If anything, after the first week, the second week seems to be a little bit worse, but do not fear. After the second week, it should start to get a little bit easier. Maybe you get a little bit more movement in it, you'll be able to relax a little bit more. It won't seem like it for the first couple of weeks, but trust me, that will happen. Then it's possible to get it out of the sling. Now, I took mine out of the sling after about just over 2 weeks, and I thought, great, this is excellent. You see on the telly all the time, pro motorcyclists, pro cyclists, they go down, snap their collarbone, straight away they're flown to the nearest expert, they open them up, separate, get the bones, put them back together again, head on, whatever angle they're in, put a plate in it, put some screws in it, sew them back up again, loads of painkillers, bit of man up soup, they're back to work again. Well, yeah, great. I thought that was going to happen to me. It didn't. They don't operate anymore unless you've actually physically got a bone sticking out of your skin. Then they won't operate. They'll say that it will get better on its own. It's going to take a bit of time. There'll be a big lump, depending on how you break it. I mean, for example, got a bit of coat hanger here. This is coat hanger, by the way. I didn't dissect anybody. If you've broken your collarbone and it's just literally got a crack in it like that, it will heal very quick. It will just heal around that area there. within a few weeks you'll probably be doing this, you know, it is possible. And that is the advantage that surgery will give you, is that they'll put it straight back in that place, and then all it has to do is heal on that particular part. What happened to me, and probably the majority of breaks, is that it doesn't quite go like that. Normally you'll have the break, it will snap and it'll settle in something like that position or that position, you know, either way. Now what will happen is this part here will actually be sticking out through your skin, basically. Hopefully it hasn't gone through your skin, but it will be sticking out in a rather unsightly manner, and it'll have a very sharp edge on it. Mine's got a really sharp edge, and for the first few weeks the skin was catching on it. Now I was really worried about this, and nobody would seem to tell me that that catching on there, I actually literally had to unhook myself, that was normal. It didn't seem normal to me, and I was worried that it wasn't healing. But I have to say that a few weeks later, or two months down the line now, still got the sharp bit, it's still sticking out, but it is, I'm not aware of that particular problem anymore. So God knows what happens if you fall off again. It's not worth thinking about, I suppose. But I have got a big dip in it, and that bit is sticking out. So that will always be. Now, what they tell you is that this bone will grow back. Now, the bone will grow at the joint where it's actually touching. If it isn't touching, and you might have a little bit debris in between, it will take longer, but it will eventually knit together, and it will knit at the point where it touches. Also, it will heal, because it has to grow new bone basically around these parts here and over the top, so you will end up in that situation with new bone growing all the way around that to protect it. Now, I was told that, and I thought, great, okay, I can live with a lump. But what they didn't tell me was that after 2 or 3 weeks this wasn't going to happen. Basically, after 2 or 3 weeks you get a very soft kind of glue that knits that part together, which will hold it secure. But what they don't tell you is that the bone itself will actually take up to a year to grow into those gaps. So really, month on month, you should probably feel a lump getting bigger and bigger all the time until it's finally finished healing. And as I say, that is supposed to take up to a year. I thought 2 or 3 weeks, lovely jubbly, eat all the right things, do the right things, do the right exercises, plenty of calcium, plenty of protein, that it will suddenly grow new bone and I'll be as good as new. Give it a month, back on the bike, lovely jubbly. It doesn't happen like that, okay? I'm sorry, but it will take you quite a long time. However, that's not all bad news, because as I say, there's a bit of glue that will heal that. So I would say within a month to 6 weeks it will start to heal. Now the mistake I made, and this is really again where you're left in the dark, is to how much exercise you can do with it and what you can do with it. I came out of the sling, as I say, after just about 2 and a bit weeks I came out of the sling, and it felt pretty good. Now, typical man I suppose, I did it too much. I bent down to sort the dog's bed out, went to stand up, and I put my arm down and supported my arm on a chair as I pushed myself up. Now, I actually felt it undo again. Now, trust me, if you think it hurts the first time, when all the adrenaline is running and you've got other injuries to worry about and it all happens so fast, it's nothing compared to when it goes again. It really, really hurts. I don't advise it. So my advice would be, if you take it out of the sling, really watch what you're doing. Don't put any weight on it at all. You shouldn't really be putting any weight on it, I don't think, until 6 weeks. You know, you'll know when you can. Listen to your body, listen to the way you feel. If it's at any point starting to pull or tug, then just don't do whatever it is that you're doing to make it do that. Mind boggles. So really, that's it. From start to finish, they'll tell you that you're going to heal. You believe them to start with. After 2 weeks, you believe you're not going to heal. 3 weeks down the line, you start to get a little bit better. You'll go back for your usual checks. Again, they don't really tell you much. They might take another X-ray, but you need to know, you need to manage your own expectations that you're not going to just be like a pro. You're not going to spring up. You're not going to get up out of bed after 2 weeks and say, brilliant, I'm fantastic again. You know, this is 2 months down the line for me, still very sore. I can ride my bike. Next week I plan my first ride, properly outside, I've been riding on a turbo trainer where you can sit up and it doesn't put too much strain on it. But I would give yourself a good two months. So really, I just didn't want anybody to worry that it's not healing and that it's sticking out at a funny angle. Why isn't it healing? It will. I'm sure there's other videos around that will tell you tips about how you can sleep better and how you can put your clothing on and all these things, which I won't go into. I just wanted people to know that just because you see on the telly that you think you're going to heal quickly, it isn't necessarily like that. So, hope you get better soon. Watch what you're doing, and yeah, happy mending.